The cruise line stocks are back and better than ever. After a rough start to the year, this whole group has been roaring, with Royal Caribbean, the second largest player in the space, leading the way, as the stock is now up an astounding 48% from its lows this spring. It's one of the best performers in the entire S&P 500. Some of this strength is simply because fuel is a huge cost for these companies, which means that with oil in the mid-40s, the cruise line operators, well, they're going to make a fortune. But it's not just cheap oil that's driving these stocks. It's the new worldwide bargain-driven consumer. Just consider the incredible quarter that Royal Caribbean reported a week and a half ago. The company delivered a magnificent 13-cent earnings beat off of a 271 basis. That's a remarkable feat when so many businesses in the travel and leisure space have been missing the estimates. Plus, Royal Caribbean's net yield, that's a hugely important key metric in this industry that measures how much money the company is to make off of its passengers, increased by an astounding 5.1% on a constant currency basis. I'm not used to something that big. More important, the company raised its full-year earnings guidance and announced a substantial $500 million accelerated buyback. That's why the stock shot up more than 3% in a single session on the news. I think it's got more room to go. But don't take it from me. Let's set sail with Richard Fain. He's the chairman and CEO of Royal Caribbean Cruises from the deck of Anthem of the Seas, docked just down the road from us, New Jersey. Hear more about the quarter and his company's prospects. Mr. Fain, welcome to Mad Money.
Thank you, Jim, and welcome aboard Anthem of the Seas.
Well, I like what I see. Can you tell me what is on that ship that would not have been on the ship that I took 5 years ago?
Oh, my goodness, there's so much. It's all about choice. And in fact, Jim, I don't know why you're not here today, but we got so much to do. You can see behind me, we have North Star, which takes you up 300 feet. You can do surfing on board. You can do skydiving. Maybe you'd have trouble, but some of your producers could do it. You can do almost anything you want on board. It's an amazing the way these ships have evolved. And the reception we've gotten here is probably one of the best ship introductions I've ever seen.
Now, one of the things that I think Royal Caribbean's not talked about enough is the technology you put on board. You are, in many ways, the technology leader of the cruise ships. So what would I see on board? How many points of contact? How many Internet of Things do you have on Royal Caribbean?
Well, actually, that's one of the things. We call it the smart ship. One of the things we did was we involved so much technology. First of all, you can get very good broadband here. We have more high-speed Internet on this ship than every other ship in the cruise industry combined. Your check-in is a breeze. In fact, there is no check-in. You just show your pass and walk on. You can organize your day, organize your dinners, organize your excursions, everything on your iPhone or iPad. It's just, you can do anything you want, and it's so easy. So that's one of the things that makes the ship different, is the technology.
Now, I want to talk about, I see it's packed there, and I look at all your different cruises, and other than perhaps some area of the world that's a little bit depressed, your cruises are packed. And I'm trying to get into the zeitgeist of that. Is it possible, sir, that what's happened is post the Great Recession, people have identified certain particular bargains? It may not be at the stores. The retail malls are often empty. It may not be on certain things that they used to do where they would stay at home. But when they're on vacation, they go on a cruise. What changed here, sir?
Well, I think that the change is two things. First of all, we've offered so much more. The food is better, the choice of alternative kinds of foods, the activities, the entertainment. We have just exploded in all those areas. The other thing that's happened is that people have begun to realize all that we offer. That you can go new places, you don't have to pack and unpack. And so we've had just an explosion in the attractiveness. So it's a great value that people used to think was too expensive. Our objective is to make it maybe a little bit less of a great value, because we're frankly too cheap today, but we're moving it up, and yeah, it's been transformational.
You're the leader of no discounting. I mean, even though I know that there's probably some business you lose, you have put a stake in the ground, haven't you?
Well, we did decide that people were really being turned off by the used car lot type of bargaining at the end, the last few cruises before the sailing. And so we really did put a stake in the ground and said we're going to be specific. And in the short run, that may cost us a little bit, in 15 and 16. But we think in the long run, the customer will like it because they know what they're buying. They don't have to haggle. The travel agents like it. And we like it because in the long run, it means you get what you pay for and you're happier about it, and we make more.
Richard, one of the things that's happened in the last years is that the Chinese government has really dissuaded people from going to these casinos, from going to Macau and gambling. But they don't mind them taking trips. As a matter of fact, they're actually encouraging, I think, the kind of travel that Royal Caribbean has. Are you able to meet the demand of what I see in the next 3 to 5 years of what the actual Chinese government wants people to do, which is take trips like yours, not to go gambling?
Well, I think it's interesting. You know, cruising for the first time appeared in China's 5-year plan as an important part of their economic development. The whole concept of the kind of vacation where you go just to have a good time is relatively novel there, and we're exploiting that. The growth has been tremendous. We do have casinos on board, but this isn't a gambling junket. This is a vacation, mostly with families. And that business has grown for us at a rate of 45% a year for the last 3 years, looks set to continue to grow. And I think the government wants to encourage that because one of the things they appreciate is how much of an economic driver this is for China. So it's good for the people. They get a vacation, a great vacation at a good price. It's good for us. We make a nice profit from it, and it's good for the economy of China. So that's why it seems to be so successful. It's taken us 10 years to get here, but we're now here and we intend to build on our success there.
One last question. When you have an area that is soft, I know you're very committed to Brazil, Latin America. Are you able to ship ships from that area over to China, where obviously there's much more demand than you can handle for 2016 bookings?
Unfortunately, South America has been a difficulty. The economy's there, the weak currency, you mentioned Brazil, the real is down 50% over the last year. And so, frankly, that's simply not viable in the long run for us. And yes, we are shifting ships. The whole industry is shifting. And so, whereas we're growing 40, 50% in China, we're actually dropping 30 or 40% in Latin America. And that's too bad. I hope it will come back. But that is one of the beauties of the cruise industry, is that we can shift ships around to where we're wanted.
Well, Mr. Fenn, I wanted to thank you so much for coming to us from the deck of the Anthem of the Seas. Great to see you, sir. And thank you for coming on Mad Money. You're a new guest, and I really love having you. Thank you, sir. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.